Next on the list is the BRS formation, which is again a break and retest formation. It is super simple, and I'm absolutely sure that most of you are actually aware of that formation. But again, we're going to go into details, and I'm again going to prove to you that the market is not perfect, and all that matters is that you understand market structure. All right, so let's not waste any time and let's just jump straight into it. BRS. A break and retest is a simple concept of support becoming resistance and vice versa. Once the support is broken, it will become resistance from the other side, and once the resistance is broken, it will become support from the other side. Once the level is broken, most of the times it will be retested. This is important because this is the way that the price rebalances itself. Because as I mentioned in the beginning, the market cannot just move up, right? Remember from the first slide, the market cannot just move up and continue. It has to rebalance, and it rebalances in the form of a pullback, in the form of a higher low or a lower high, or in the form of a retest of previous broken structure. Okay, so another concept for you to learn. We are going to use BRS mainly for entries and just following the structure. Okay, so for entries on the 50-minute, it's pretty important to understand this formation. Remember, again, the market is not perfect. I keep repeating that it is becoming a cliche, but I really want you to understand this. I really want to kind of ingrain it into your minds, right? Not always price will come for a perfect retest of structure. It also happens on all time frames as well. On the daily, on the monthly, on the hourly, on the 50-minute, on the 1 minute, and on the 30 seconds, you're gonna see break and retest. Are those time frames having the same weight? No. Okay, a break and retest on the 30 minute, it's not a strong break and retest as it is on the hourly, for example. Okay, so just to provide you again with a little chart right there, again, it's not a textbook example. We have a break, we have a retest. Perfect. We have a break, but where does the retest take us? It's below the area that is supposed to be retested. Again, but I want you to remember, where is your higher low right now? So I want you to think of it, okay? It's this one. So as long as the market remains above it, we keep buying. So it doesn't matter that the market broke the structure, we keep buying, okay? Another beautiful break of structure of the high. What does the market do this time? Well, it retests above the area. So it creates the higher low above the area, and this is gonna happen a lot. Sometimes you have this big push to the upside and you're like, okay, right now I'm gonna look for that pullback and the retest of structure. But most of the times it's just gonna create 1 or 2 candles to the downside and then continue pumping up. Okay, so keep in mind, it could be a perfect retest, it could be below the area, or it could be above the area. And for shorts as well, it's just turned the opposite direction, the opposite side, inverted, right? If I can actually do it. Oh, this doesn't look, this is again an uptrend, right? Okay, it doesn't work. Let's jump on to the next one. So here is another example. Okay, so let me screenshot it again, and we are gonna get into my favorite charting tool, the pen. So let's have a look. Again, we have a structure high. The market pulls back, creates a higher low. We have a strong break above with a candle close, all right? Then the market pulls back and creates this sort of big indecision candle right there. But this is a retest, isn't it? Right? And as you can see, the market perfectly failed to close below the high of those wicks and actually formed a higher low. But again, it's not perfect. Then what the market does is, again, it impulses strongly again and creates a higher high. Perfect. Where is your structure? Again, you take all of those wicks. You don't take this one, because if you take this one, it won't make sense. Again, there comes a little bit of my discretion, again, because some of you might take this whole structure like this. But me, I'm always, sometimes I even take the average of the wicks, but most of the times I'm gonna take all the wicks like this if they're not way too big. So this one is way too big, so I'm only taking all of those right there. And as you can see, perfect retest right there. It's not entirely perfect, it kind of faked below. This is again a little stop hunt, but that is perfectly fine. It is still a higher low, and with our entry strategy, we're not gonna get stopped out with that, right? Beautiful higher high again, right? Nice impulsive candles, and again, a very quick retest. Is it perfect? No, it's not, right? And then we create this big consolidation area right there, but this is still a higher low. Strong impulse above, broke structure. What do we look for? A retest. Again, this retest came below this level, and can we take a long from here? Absolutely yes. But as you can see, the market fails, and then we strongly start reversing to the downside. And this is absolutely fine, because there always comes a time when a trend is gonna reverse. And again, we had a push, pull back. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, even 7. No, 1, 2, 3, 4 pushes to the upside, and that is way too much. Usually you're gonna have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and then the market is gonna reverse. So this one was a beautiful uptrend that you could have capitalized on it a lot. right? So I really hope everything is clear. Again, the market is not perfect. We are going to have fake outs like this. We're going to have the market actually not retesting the level to perfection, and we're sometimes going to have a break below and a reversal, and that is perfectly fine. And I have another example as well to show you again, to work as much as possible market structure. Screenshot, bank, here we go. So let's start with that one. What is that formation, guys? It's a double top, right? Great. So we have the double top, the market breaks the major high low, and we have the body close right there. The market pulls back a little bit. Can we take a short from here? Yes, we can, right? It's a push, it's a pullback, it's a retest of structure. We take the short, it pushes a little bit to the downside, but it fails to break lower. Maybe a stop loss, maybe a break even, depends on how we manage. The market pumps into the highs and creates actually one of the this is a little bit more of a liquidity grab. And some of you right now might argue that this right there was the lower high and we are supposed to not break it, okay? But actually this is your major lower high right now. Why? Because this is what broke structure, and this is right now minor structure in between this swing and this swing. So I really hope that makes sense right now. Again, a major lower high is only confirmed once it breaks structure. So just memorize this one. Once it breaks structure, that is only when you have a major lower high. Does that move break structure? Yes, it did. Eventually right there, we have a broken structure. So this right now turns into our major lower high. Again, break and retest. Nice. This is the broken structure. Retest right there. The market broke structure again. Where is our major lower high? It's right there. This wick. We break structure. Where is the retest? Right there. Does the market retest perfectly? Well, it doesn't. It throws a big wick right there above, right? So for the people that went for retest on this candle, they are really badly stopped out, okay, by this wick. But that wick again remained below the previous lower high, so we're still free to take shorts. Then the market breaks again. Does it break in a perfect manner? Well, not really. Again, comes back for a retest, maybe take a short, maybe ride a little bit down, but we can see that it fails to break structure. And that means that the market does not have enough pressure to push to the downside and to break that structure. And what we have later, again, is another liquidity grab. Boom, to the upside. But again, where is your major structure right now? It's this one. Again, we'll come to the little details that I wouldn't take this structure as this big wick, because this would be too big of a zone, doesn't it? Isn't it? Right, I'm gonna take this like an average, something like that. The market respected it and we've hugely flushed to the downside, perfectly breaking structure. And what happened later? We perfectly came to retest it, okay? It's not perfect, it faked a little bit above, but that is absolutely fine because this is a lower high. And then we actually break structure again. Not the perfect break and not the perfect retest because the market is still staying in that area, but as you can see, then the market continued to the downside. So this is break and retest. It's very simple. It's just the concept of the market breaking the lows, closing below the lows, and then potentially looking for that area of a retest. However, it's not always perfect, right? Keep in mind, it's not always perfect. And we are mostly going to focus on the MSS formation, which is usually the first retest. So again, if break and retest is clear, it is super simple. Let's jump right now into a super powerful formation.